Hello everybody, this is Cyberclone Alpha, and today this is a very special video because we have another Nerf YouTuber on the channel. This is from the first boarded blaster of the month, and it is going to go on for a couple months while you guys submit your builds. Please do. I would love to see what you guys have built. Please put a backstory, and we will get on with the show.
Hello everybody, this is cyberclone alpha here with another video for you today. I'm here with OC Nerf and he is here to show off his number 300 long shot. So OC, what was your inspiration for building this blaster?
My inspiration for building this blaster is just really mainly the love that I have for springers and long shots in particular. The biggest inspiration probably for this one and almost every one of my other long shots is pointing to the fact that you don't need to buy a kit necessarily to get good performance out of a blaster, if not better performance out of a blaster. That there is still a point to entry-level Nerf where you can go to the hardware store, buy what it is that you need, and make a really good blaster by yourself. That's, I think, a big inspiration for me, and I hope that it inspires others to do the same, not necessarily pay $200 for a kit, that you can go purchase some parts in the hardware store, make something yourself.
Yep, it's great. Yeah, building stuff yourself is always fun. I tried building something with a kit for the first time ever recently, and it wasn't as fun as building my own internals. What materials did you use, and why did you use them?
So I went with a sleeper breach, which means I've used brass for the internals, the main parts of the internals. I'm going to go over kind of what I used from what I can recall. Also some things that have changed, but a sleeper breach in essence being your standard bolt rebarreled to accept 9/16 brass, which will then sleeve over your 17/32 barrel. So it's using brass as the main material for the bolt and the barrel.
Yep.
The plunger tube itself is about 36 millimeter aluminum that I purchased from Orange Modworks. You can also use a drain pipe, which is also about the same size, 36 mil.
Yep.
And it replaces the plunger tube for the long shot, which is around 35, tapers down to 34.
Okay, so just keep it consistently 35 or
30? Yeah, it keeps it consistently 36 across right now, the internal diameter, which does mean you do have to make some changes to your long shot parts because I am using long shot parts still. So I am using the stock bolt, which doesn't work at all with a lipless system, which is what it's going to be.
Yep.
And it definitely won't work with 36 millimeters. The long shot cup is probably closer to 33, just under 34. So what I did to that is I made 2 grooves in the cup to go ahead and add 2 thick O-rings so that it can create a seal inside of the plunger tube. And it does get a perfect air seal with that. The plunger head also doesn't quite fit normally, so I had to thicken it up with a little bit more Teflon tape underneath that O-ring until I got the seal that I wanted, which is a near perfect seal, intentionally near perfect seal. It still gets a good seal. It still holds air, but it intentionally does leak it slightly because I wanted it to keep moving faster rather than slowing itself down with a full seal.
Yep, makes sense.
So that was intentionally less than 100%.
Okay.
So the other parts and materials that I used in there were let's see, from the back to the front. The back has the internals starting from the back to the front. The back is a metal catch. I believe it's an artifact metal catch with an Orange Modworks metal trigger. Not completely necessary, but for 2 reasons. One, the stock catch for the long shot really does hold up pretty well. I haven't really had too much of an issue with it. So it is possible to still use that, but the metal one obviously will just have better longevity. And with the spring combo I have in there, it's really going to be important. The metal trigger, again, is for the similar reasons. It doesn't bow, it doesn't flex, and longevity.
Yep.
So I've got those two things in there. The back area of the blaster shell behind the plunger tube is filled with epoxy resin and fiberglass tape so that it kind of gives it a good support.
Yep.
The back cap is still the stock back cap, just the Mickey Mouse ears cut off. The plunger rod is an Orange Modworks plunger rod from their line with about a millimeter of fiberglass on the front of the plunger tube for reinforcement. So there's no padding in the system either. It's quite loud, but there's about a millimeter of fiberglass in the front to give it a good solid protection in the front of that plunger tube. The back of the plunger cap is also another millimeter of fiberglass coned into the back of the bolt, which is 9/16 down to I believe I took it down to 7/16 brass inside. So there's an internal pusher down to 7/16 so that it's strictly, it's a air reduction, and it's strictly for half darts only.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching. This is the end of part 1. Watch out for part 2 coming soon, and please take a look at OC's channel. He is an awesome nerfer, and as you can tell, makes awesome blasters. Please insert your blaster for Nerf Blaster of the Month, and a link to OC's channel will be down in the description. Thank you again, OC, and we'll see you all next time.